Hello there, hunters! We are just around the corner from the release of Monster Hunter Wilds, and whether you're a veteran of the series or you're a brand new hunter, there's a lot to be excited about. From new biomes to new dynamic weather systems, and of course, the monsters. Wilds is shaping up to be one of the most ambitious entries in the franchise yet. So in this video, I wanted to break down what you can look forward to in Monster Hunter Wilds, plus a few light tips to get you started so that you're on the right foot. But before we dive on into all of that information, if you've been enjoying my content lately, please consider subscribing. I'm going to be posting so many Monster Hunter Wilds videos on this channel that this channel is basically going to become a Monster Hunter channel with, some other videos, of course. But yeah, if you've been enjoying my content, just thank you so much, and consider subscribing, and let me know at the end of the video, what are you most excited about for Monster Hunter Wilds? Anyways, let's dive in. So, Capcom isn't holding back this time, guys. Monster Hunter Wilds has taken the series in a bold new direction with a truly open and living world. And this basically means that there isn't any more segmented zones. Instead, we're getting a seamless maps actually, that actually change in real time. One of the biggest changes, dynamic weather and ecosystems. And this isn't just for the visuals, the storms, temperature changes, or even wildlife migrations that affect the hunts. Imagine tracking a monster only for a sandstorm to roll in and completely change the battlefield. It's literally next level immersion. We're also getting new ways to traverse this world, and a mechanic that was in the previous Monster Hunter game, Monster Hunter Rise. We are getting a mount, and the mount is called a secret, and it basically lets you ride freely around the world. You can attack on the move, and you can even interact with gathering points without dismounting. So no more slow jogs between fights like in Monster Hunter World or even previous Monster Hunter games. This is a Monster Hunter with some real speed. Okay, now let's talk about what we're really here for. The monsters. And we've already seen a few in the trailers, like the terrifying Arcveiled, and we've seen other monsters like Ushagama and the Black Flame, all those monsters. But we know Capcom always has some surprises in store. And with new monsters come new mechanics. Wilds is adding more team-based interactions, which means coordinated hunts will be more important than ever. Monsters will also react dynamically to their environments, getting caught in storms, using the terrain to their advantage, or even running into each other and fighting each other in unexpected ways. Monsters are also in herds now, meaning you have to find ways to either disengage the two other monsters that are with the main monster, or find a way to lure the monster to a different location and separate it from the herd. Otherwise, it's going to be really tough fighting potentially 3 monsters at the same time. Another new mechanic is the focus system, and this one is more dedicated to the combat, and I'm not going to dive too deep into the combat in this video, but it's one of the core systems of Monster Hunter Wilds. And essentially, when you do enough damage to a monster, when you press your focus mode, there's going to be a spot on the monster's body that's highlighted in red, and there is a specific attack that you do when you are in focus mode. And when you actually land the attack, there's a unique animation that happens that can either drop the monster or stun the monster briefly. It's a very important mechanic, and focus mode is going to be so essential to every hunt in Monster Hunter Wilds. Oh, and if you played Monster Hunter before, you know the real end game is the gear. So expect tons of new armor sets and weapons, all built around this evolving, living ecosystem. If you're new to Monster Hunter, here's a few quick tips to make your journey a little bit smoother. So one piece of advice that I always give to new players is don't lock yourself into just using one weapon early on. Monster Hunter has 14 different types of weapon, and each weapon plays completely differently. If you like fast and flashy, you can try the dual blades. If you want massive damage and precision, the Great Sword, in my opinion, that's a weapon you definitely want to use. But if you want like versatility, I would say Longsword might be your best bet. Also, one thing that's a part of Monster Hunter is preparing for each hunt. Make sure that you eat at your camps, you bring the right items, always make sure you check your gear, always make sure you have the appropriate gear for specific fights. Going in unprepared is a recipe for disaster, so just always make sure that you're prepared for the hunt. Wilds is also leaning hard into terrain advantages, so using slopes for aerial attacks, or setting traps near hazards, or using the traps that are on trees if you're in the Windward Plains, or any other traps that are in the environment where you're at. be sure to use those because they are going to be extremely valuable when you're hunting certain monsters, so just always be on the lookout for that. Another thing that I always tell new players is when you're fighting monsters and maybe you're having trouble against them, I think it's really important to also learn their behaviors. Each monster has unique tells. Watching their movements is just as important as attacking. Don't just swing blindly. Observe and then strike. Take your time, and if you're having a hard time, don't say this game sucks or I'm not good or anything like that. It's gonna take time, so just be patient with your weapon, try out different weapons, and again, see which weapon really works for you, and know that some weapons that you think might be good against a certain monster may not be, and another weapon might actually be good for that monster. So it's really important just to take the time to really find what works best for you when you're fighting certain monsters. Oh, and last thing, multiplayer is your best friend. Hunting with friends makes everything more fun, and with Wilds adding even more ways to coordinate in battle due to crossplay, in my opinion, teaming up is a no-brainer. But if for some reason you can't coordinate with friends, or some of your friends are out of town or anything like that, there is a function now in Monster Hunter where you can get NPCs to join you on a hunt from an SOS. So again, if you still want that multiplayer kind of experience, that is an option. I would say though, get out there, hunt with some people you maybe haven't hunted with before, try to make new friends with this game. This is a new game, meaning there's going to be a lot of new players. So I would encourage you not to be afraid to go seek out some friends or build friends amongst friends that you already have. Because in my opinion, Monster Hunter in general is way more fun, and in my opinion, gives you the best experience when you're playing with your friends or just with other people. Monster Hunter Wilds, again, is looking like it's the biggest evolution in the series yet, and I cannot wait to jump in. Whether you're a longtime fan or brand new to the hunt, this game is shaping to be something special and something that honestly I'm just truly excited about. But I want to know, what are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, drop a like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more Monster Hunter Wilds content. And as always, my name is Chris Sages, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.